Welcome back to Ringside Ramble. It's me, Niall, bringing you all the latest news, views and breakdowns from around the world of professional boxing. In this video, I'm going to be giving my preview and prediction for this Saturday night's headliner in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's a huge cruiserweight unification fight between the English WBO champion, Chris Billam-Smith, and Gilberto Ramirez, who currently holds a WBA version of the 200-pound belt. This one's a real kind of fascinating clash, and I can't wait for it. It's a stacked card with a great and fascinating main event, so I'll be breaking that one down in this video. But before we get into today's video, please don't forget, if you like this content, this video and the other videos on the channel, please don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I'd really appreciate it. And give this video a like, give it a share, follow us over on X. I'll have my handle down below. Always great content there to engage with passionate boxing fans like myself. So yeah, please like, share, subscribe and all that good stuff. I'd really appreciate the help. So yeah, thanks a lot. And yeah, as I say, to get into today's video, Chris Billam-Smith against Zurdo Ramirez, cruiserweight unification fight as part of Latino Night. Riyadh season, Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, live on the zone, and I can't wait for this one. I think it's a real fascinating occasion. As I say, the undercard is stacked. I'll have previews of those fights as well for coming up on the channel over the next couple of days. But the headliner, Billam-Smith and Zurdo. Billam-Smith, first of all, let's start with the WBO champion. I like Chris Billam-Smith as a fighter. He cops a lot of flack from fans about not being the most exciting, which is true. He's not the most exciting fighter, but he's effective. He really is. He's an effective fighter. He does the basics well. He reminds me of, he's like that kind of Eastern European style of fighter, technically solid, good guard, solid jab, high guard, heavy-handed. He's a big unit of a man. So he does the basics well. He does what he's good at very well, and he's not the most exciting. He's not flawless by any means. He does have glaring weaknesses. He doesn't move his head. He can be a bit stiff. He's not hard to find, but he is an effective fighter. The size, the technical kind of how well skilled he is, the jab, the power, that sort of stuff. So he is a good fighter, and he's had good career wins now. Whether it be domestic level, he's beat Tommy McCarthy, he's beat Isaac Chamberlain. And of course, he has good European level wins like Mateusz Masternak, although he looked underwhelming in that before the stoppage, but he got the job done. Beat Masternak, went on to challenge for a world title against Lawrence Okoli in what has to be the worst world title fight I've ever watched. It was absolutely dreadful fight. The styles did not mesh well at all. Not surprising with Lawrence Okoli, and also Billam-Smith, who tends not to be the most kind of red hot fighter you'll ever see, but he got it done. Of course, stadium show at his hometown club of Bournemouth, so he got it done to become the world champion. And yeah, as I say, he's built his way up the ladder well from British level, domestic level, European level to now world champion. Credit to him. He's really got the most out of his talents and his kind of his attributes to reach the top of the mountain and at the 200-pound weight division. So yeah, I think Billam-Smith is a better fighter than a lot of people give him credit for. As I say, technically very solid. He does the basics well, and he's a big unit. He's a big unit of a man to try handle. So yeah, he had a good win last time out as well, of course, another stadium show, and he proved his mettle in that one, avenging the defeat to Richard Riakporhe. Riakporhe had handed him a solid career defeat before that. But yeah, he went behind enemy lines into the Lions Den of Selhurst Park. A real pro-Riakporhe crowd, and he got it done. It wasn't the most exciting fight again, but he done what he needed to do to get it done. So yeah, that's another really excellent win on his resume. So he's coming into this with confidence. He really is coming into this with confidence, and it's good to see him getting a big unification fight. It's not the fight with Joy Apatoya, the kind of consensus king of the division, but it's against a very, very dangerous fighter and a fellow champion in Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Zurdo Ramirez, a very good fighter in his own right. An interesting career, an interesting resume. Of course, started at super middleweight and kind of shocked people with the size. You know, he's big for even 168 pounds, but even since early on, I've been a fan of Zurdo Ramirez. I really have. He's big, he's rangy, throws a lot of punches. You know, fast feet, quick hands for his size. Puts the shots together well. You know, good body puncher. He can do a lot. You know, he'll have the edge here on Billam-Smith in terms of speed and kind of punch variety and footwork. He will have the edge against Billam-Smith in that regard. But ability wise, yeah, I think Zurdo Ramirez is a top fighter. There was the questions of him, you know, in terms of his resume, that he hadn't had the strongest resume. His best win for a long time was against Arthur Abraham, and it was a way past his best version of Arthur Abraham at super middleweight. You know, he didn't kind of enter himself into the World Boxing Super Series at super middleweight, which a lot of people were disappointed with. You know, there was a lot of kind of fascinating fights from around that weight at the time, the likes of a Callum Smith, a George Groves, fighters like that, you know. But he won the WBO title at 168, you know, and he won his fights relatively comfortably. Moved up down to 175, which a lot of people expected, you know, for his size. Won a world title up there. Very impressive, you know, still looked impressive. A lot of people thought, right, this is his peak weight division now for his size and his dimensions. You know, had good wins, you know, really good wins. He beat Joe Smith Jr. up there, you know, Jesse Hart, Romer, Alexis Angulo. He's had solid wins, not the kind of absolutely elite level wins that he should probably have for this stage of his career and how many fights he's had, but he's had good wins. Maxime Vlasov, he's beaten. You know, Tommy Carpensi, solid kind of fringe world level wins like that. But yeah, wins world titles at 175 and then moves up again to cruiserweight. And in his debut at cruiserweight, beats Arsene Goulamarian. You know, say what you want about Goulamarian, but he's a very good fighter, unbeaten at the time, no joke. And to go up your first fight in a new weight division and comfortably beat Goulamarian like he did is very impressive. So, you know, it's a real solid win, and arguably, you know, it's a better win than anything Billam-Smith has at cruiserweight so far. The Arsene Goulamarian win is, some people might not agree with that, but I think Zurdo is more experienced against a better caliber of opposition than Chris Billam-Smith is, and I think that'll be a big factor in this fight too. You know, of course, one loss on his record to Dmitry Bivol, no shame in that. He was widely outclassed there, but yeah, there's absolutely no shame in losing to that. He losing to Zurdo, he's come back, looked good, moved up again and won a world title, so he's the current WBA cruiserweight champion. And yeah, here we are, this big unification fight. In terms of a prediction, you know, style wise, I mentioned that Billam-Smith has flaws. He has flaws, but he does the technical stuff so well in terms of the high guard, the solid jab. You know, very kind of fundamentally correct in what he does. Negatives, as I mentioned, he's not the quickest. He can be stiff at times, a bit too stiff, a bit too kind of fundamentally correct, if you will, a bit too fundamentally solid, and he's not that hard to hit. He doesn't move his head much, if at all, off that centre line. We've seen it in fights against the likes of Masternak, you know, Riakporhe, other fights like that, a Coley, he's there to be hit. So, you know, he does have his flaws. Zurdo has his flaws as well, of course, but I think Zurdo Ramirez, for me, is a bit too well-rounded for Billam-Smith. I think, as I mentioned, he has good footwork, good quick feet, you know, uses angles well, fast hands, you know, I think he has more variety of shots, better combination puncher than Billam-Smith. Works his shots well, the head and body, you know, throws a lot of shots too, which is going to be key here to offset the rhythm of Chris Billam-Smith. You know, he can't let Chris Billam-Smith dictate the pace, and I think he's big, rangy enough, enough of a volume puncher to kind of fight this fight on his own terms. So I think what this will come down to is Zurdo being a bit too quick and a bit too kind of versatile for Billam-Smith. I really do. I think he's just too fast and too well-rounded. He's more of a variety of shots than Billam-Smith. He'll bring more to the table than Billam-Smith will. Billam-Smith can be a bit too predictable. at times, and I think it's going to cost him here. I really do. So I'm going for a Zurdo Ramirez decision win. I think he'll win on points. I think it'll be an okay fight. I don't think it'll set the world alight, but I think Zurdo Ramirez will do enough to get it done on the cards and claim the WBO title to go along with his own WBA world title and become unified champion for the first time in his career, this time at cruiserweight. So yeah, in terms of, as I mentioned earlier in the video, the consensus king of the division, Joy Opetaia, it's a pity neither of these men have fought Joy Opetaia yet, but hopefully the winner of this one can go on and face Joy. In terms of who wins that's a video for another day. You know, Joy Opetaia is a marvellous fighter in his own right. But yeah, that's just my quick breakdown and prediction for this Saturday night's huge headliner in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's the big unification at cruiserweight between the WBO champion Chris Billam-Smith and the WBA multi-weight world champion Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. So yeah, part of a stacked card, Latino night on the zone. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you agree with my assessment? How excited are you for this fight? Who do you think is going to win? Will Billam-Smith be too fundamentally sound and technically solid? Will he get it done? Or will Zurdo walk away with both titles? Let us know what you think in the comments. How excited are you for the whole card as well? Check out my breakdown and prediction for the rest of the card. That'll be dropping over the next couple of days. So yeah, let us know what you think. And as I mentioned at the start of the video, please, if you like what you see, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Really appreciate everybody that's subscribed so far. So yeah, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. Give the video a like. Give it a share. You know, follow us on X. The @ over on X is still on the screen below. It should be. So yeah, follow us over on there. Always great content to engage with passionate boxing fans. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And until next time, speak again and take care.